It's been a crazy year for Nvidia as numerous bearish points have come out for the company. We can see from its 52-week high, the stock is down roughly 44% as I am recording this episode. And there are numerous bearish points. One of the biggest is the slowdown in the consumer market. The reason being is, one, overall macroeconomics is slowing down spending. And with slowing down in spending, less people are gonna go out there and buy electronics or buy graphics cards. The second reason is the overall crypto market. We know Nvidia's graphics cards are used for mining. And as the crypto market continues to crash, so is the demand for Nvidia cards. The next reason is there is a new generation of cards coming out, their 4000 series. So consumers that are ready to buy graphics cards might be waiting off a few months to buy the new generation. And all these reasons happening at once are plummeting the overall demand. Do you think Nvidia can turn things around in the consumer market, or is it game over? Nvidia is one of my favorite companies at the moment, and I do believe they can change things around, and I will explain a little bit more in this episode. Remember, this is more about their consumer market. As you all know, I'm super bullish for them in the automotive and in the data center. So let's get started.
I do want to thank The Motley Fool for sponsoring this video, and make sure to check out fool.com/Jose to get the top 10 stocks to buy right now.
I do want to take a closer look at this chart presented by 3dcenter.org, where they kind of show the overall graphics card prices and the total supply as well. And we can see at the beginning of 2022, prices of graphics cards were extremely high. At the same time, we can see the availability levels of cards were a lot lower. Now kind of changing into where we're at right now, things have kind of inverse. The amount of availability of cards is super high, but the average selling prices of cards are much lower. We can see before Nvidia graphics cards were selling above MSRP. Now on average, 3dcenter.org says that the all cards are selling on average 91% of MSRP. So at first, I do want to say that's pretty impressive. We're already on I want to say, I think 2-year time frame of this generation. And 2-year technology, in theory, obviously sells at MSRP at the beginning. But as you go on further through that generation, especially when new cars are expected to come out, you expect them to go below MSRP. So it's not like there's crazy huge sales happening for Nvidia cards right now. And I do believe that's what the overall market is kind of having a lot of fear about. I do want to say we have some insight in the consumer market, especially in the semiconductor industry, as there have been a few companies that reported already. We've had big players like Intel report a 25% decrease in overall kind of client computing, which is their consumer market, due to the overall consumer and education demand softening. Earlier in July, I mentioned that the worldwide PC shipments fell 15.3% in the second quarter of 2022. I do want to say this is very important for Nvidia, because Nvidia is the one with the largest market share in discrete graphics cards in the market right now. So if PC shipments has decreased, I do believe Nvidia's gaming segment, which is their consumer market, can see a form of a slowdown or even a decrease in growth. But with all this slowdown, is there a chance for its next generation of cards to do any better and pick up the demand? I want to say yes, and let me explain why. And if you are enjoying the episode, make sure to hit the thumbs up. It does help with me growing my overall audience and overall help the channel out. Also, if you want to support a little bit more, make sure to sign up using my link at fool.com/Jose. So like I mentioned earlier, there are a few reasons for the slowdown, and I think it's very important to understand. First is the consumer market seeing a bit of a slowdown. I do want to say the slowdown in the consumer market is probably being impacted in the higher tier cards, and I've done previous episodes where, like for example, the 3090 Ti is the one seeing the biggest price drops, opposed to maybe like the 3060, which is seeing a little bit of a price drop. So we can see that there's still some form of market, especially in those that are somewhat consumer friendly prices. The second reason is overall the crypto market, and the third reason are the consumers that are ready to purchase new cards are waiting for the next generation. I mean, talking about experience myself, I'm really debating right now if I should just pick up a 3070 or just wait for the 4070 to come out in a few months. But I do believe the best way for the consumer market to shift especially for the graphics cards, is when they present the next generation of cards and how big the technology gap is, or pretty much the performance gap. For example, we see reports like this where Nvidia's GeForce RTX 470 Ti is matching the 3090 Ti. Remember, the 3090 Ti was almost a $2,000 card, and they're gonna say that the RTX 4070 Ti, which is probably gonna be a $600 card, will be able to match that. And that shows that there is a huge kind of performance leap in this next generation. If rumors like this are true, I do believe just because of that huge performance boost, the overall market is going to say, yes, this is a reason for me to buy. There are certain generations, and unfortunately we've seen it, where the generation and the performance gap between the two generations, it's very, very minimal. I do believe if the performance gap in the 4000 series is very small compared to the 3000 series, then the demand will stay low. But at the end of the day, innovation is what drives the market. So as an investor, when they do release those graphics cards, one of the first things I want to see is that overall performance jump from the previous generations, because I do believe that's what's gonna tell me a little bit more of where the market is headed. So let me know in the comments below, do you think an overall huge performance leap can help the demand for graphics cards, especially in the consumer market? And if you want to learn a little bit more about the semiconductor market, make sure to watch this video above. I do a quick preview on AMD earnings, which are expected to be released later today. Take care, have a good day, and see you next time.